Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Other Items of Interest. This week, cockfighting gone wrong, a serial pooper, and a Bigfoot sighting. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Other Items of Interest. I'm your host, Jack Zablocki. How are you now? How you doing? Everything good? Okay then. You know, last week on the show, we ended the show with a story about a depressed cow whose cow friend, died, and the cow was inconsolable. So they got the cow a therapy goat, which perked the cow right up. They became best friends. And then the goat disappeared. Somebody stole the goat, and through a little investigative work, the owners were able to locate the goat and reunite it with the cow, and everything was happy again. There was a quote at the end of the story, just out of nowhere, that said, everyone thought curry, or everybody thought curry, and that was that. I didn't understand the quote. I didn't get it, because I'm slow. Somebody was nice enough to explain to me, and I feel really, really inadequate now that they thought the goat had been turned into curry, somebody's food. So thank you for explaining that to me very slowly to where I can understand it. Much better now. So that mystery is solved. And here we are now. On today's show, we have a mixed bag of articles, starting with weird stuff and just getting weirder as the show goes on. And we actually have a Bigfoot story. I love a good Bigfoot story. Unfortunately, it's very rare that we get a good Bigfoot story. I can think of two Bigfoot stories that we've had. One, a man called the sheriff's department and said Bigfoot attacked him with an axe. And the sheriff's department showed up, and the guy was just incredibly drunk, and he had an axe mishap. No sign of Bigfoot. The other story was a couple of campers, maybe in Kentucky. Their campsite was ransacked in the middle of the night. They take a peek outside, and there's a man standing there, and he says, Bigfoot wrecked your camp, but don't worry, I got a gun. You got a gun? And that rightfully freaked the couple out. And then the man went to go, again, look for Bigfoot. They were so freaked out, they trekked 5 miles in the middle of the night to the ranger station to report this deranged man who was allegedly, potentially, could have been on meth. Those are the Bigfoot stories that we wind up doing. This one is much more interesting and involves photos. So there's some kind of evidence. Anywho, we're going to get on with the show now, and we'll lead right up to that Bigfoot story by the end. So sit tight, sit back, or stand. I don't really give a shit. Enjoy the show, everybody. And here we go. Looking for a cat to adopt? Are you in North Carolina? We might have just the cat for you. From the MiamiHerald.com, Animal Shelter says, world's worst cat is up for adoption. The world's worst cat is available for adoption. Just ask the Mitchell County Animal Rescue Organization in North Carolina. The shelter, about 55 miles northeast of Asheville, is waiving adoption fees in the hope that someone will take the cat named Perdita off their hands. The group says on its Facebook page, "We thought she was sick. Turns out she's just a jerk." A tongue-in-cheek profile of the foul-tempered feline says her dislikes include dogs, children, the Dixie Chicks, Disney movies, Christmas, and last but not least, hugs. It says she likes lurking, pretending to be sick, and staring into your soul until you feel as if you may never be cheerful again. It adds, she's single and ready to be socially awkward with a socially awkward human who understands personal space. Shelter director Amber Lowry says 4-year-old Perdita came to the facility on Christmas Eve, the Charlotte Observer reported. Since then, the shelter has had to warn visitors that Perdita's attempts to draw a passerby to her cage are actually a ruse that will not end well. I'm looking at her right now, and she's rolling around in her little bed, looking all sweet and cute, but the minute you try to rub her, she slaps you. We thought she was in pain and took her to the vet, and he said, no, this cat is just a jerk. Her Facebook post has drawn thousands of likes, and follow-up posts as more than 50 applications to adopt her have been submitted. One person wrote on the shelter's Facebook page that they hope Perdita finds the goth home of her dreams. The shelter replied, us too, like soon. So there you go, another cat from hell looking to be adopted. Spay and neuter your pets. And in other animal news from 9news.com.au, man killed by blade-wielding rooster during illegal cockfight. Are cockfights legal anywhere? I thought the only kind of cockfight was an illegal one. A man has died after a rooster slashed him with a razor during an illegal cockfight in India. Sarapalli Venkatswara Rao was a spectator in Pragadavaram village. No idea if I'm pronouncing that right, so be it. In the state of Andhra Pradesh on Friday. The birds have razor blades tied to their limbs and then are placed in the ring where they fight until one is left standing. When an event organizer was placing the rooster into the ring, it struggled free and kicked out, fatally wounding 55-year-old Rao in the stomach. The Indian Supreme Court banned cockfights as part of the 1960 Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act. However, they are still a popular practice in many Indian villages, especially as part of celebrations for Makar Sankranti, a Hindu festival day. Mr. Venkatswara was the only death reported during the events. However, a dozen other injuries were reported. The contests attract large crowds with substantial amounts of money gambled on the winners. The roosters are also given steroids and fed protein-rich diets in an effort to increase their size and chances of winning the match. A little fucked up, but I guess they have hobbies. I don't know what to say. I never understood cockfighting. Never will. I don't want to say this guy had what was coming to him, but you take a wild animal and strap a blade to it, you could get cut. It's a chance that it might happen. So. Here's something you never like to see. Parking lot pooper. Woman arrested, accused of defecating 8 times in public. I've noticed a lot of stories of serial poopers, people who poop in public. There was the one, I don't know if he was a teacher or a superintendent of a school or what, but he was during his morning jog, he was pooping on the grounds of a rival school. He got in trouble. And there was another one recently of a serial pooper. It's nasty. It's just, don't need that. Article goes on to read, since early December, the owner of a Massachusetts outdoor store found human feces 8 separate times in the parking lot when he arrived for work. But on Wednesday, police in Natick arrested a woman, 51-year-old Andrea F. Grosser, in a vehicle while she was allegedly preparing to defecate on the store's property. I'm so happy they arrested her, Natick outdoor store owner Henry Canner told Metro West Daily News. I have no idea who she is. This has been ongoing. She has defecated quite often over here. There's nothing more disgusting coming into your parking lot in the morning and seeing a pile of human excrement. Canner said he doesn't know the woman and has no idea why she would defecate in his lot. Yes, very curious. Police began investigating the foul bowel movements last month after Canner repeatedly found feces in his store's parking lot. At first, they thought it was an animal, but then they noticed toilet paper and other wipes, items animals would not have access to. Police spokesperson Lieutenant Kara Rossi said. Very keen detective work on the part of the police, realizing that an animal defecating in a parking lot would not have toilet paper or other wipes. Very good eye, detective. The incidents were caught on security camera, but the vehicle's license plate was not visible. Police stepped up patrols at the store to catch the poop perpetrator until Grosser's arrest. At an arraignment hearing Wednesday, Grosser's lawyer called her a pillar of the community and said she has a full-time job. Grosser was charged with 8 counts of wanton destruction of property. So there's that. No more cereal pooping in that lot. For now. And now for the Ballad of Penis Man. Have you heard of Penis Man? Someone in the Phoenix metro area, in Arizona, tagging the words Penis Man all over the city. Well, let's learn about him, if you don't know already. Penis Man, graffiti artist, arrested by 25 heavily armed SWAT officers from the PhoenixNewTimes.com. Accused Penis Man graffiti tagger Dustin Schomer announced on Facebook early Saturday morning that 25 heavily armed SWAT officers had arrested him on January 23rd at his Phoenix condo. Penis Man has a condo. Tempe police confirmed on Saturday afternoon that they had arrested Schomer at 5:30 p.m. on Thursday. Phoenix New Times published an article just before 5 p.m. on Thursday about the investigation, which police launched after numerous instances of a tagger scrawling Penis Man across public and private buildings and other objects since late November. The taggings had received nationwide attention on social media and on news sites including ABC 15 News and New Times. As New Times reported on Thursday, the tagger had become brazen with his markings in the past couple of weeks, hitting, among other places, the historic Hayden Flour Mill and the front door of Tempe's municipal building. Police didn't reveal they had apprehended a suspect less than an hour after the article appeared, until they were contacted by the news media on Saturday. In a statement to the media, Tempe police said they believe he is responsible for multiple graffiti incidents of Penis Man throughout the city of Tempe and across Arizona State University as well. The statement continues, Dustin was booked into the Tempe City Jail on 16 counts of aggravated criminal damage, 8 counts of criminal damage, and 1 count of criminal trespassing in the first degree. Schomer didn't respond to a request for comment, but on the unmodded neighborhood group Facebook page, Schomer addressed the arrest. I just spent the last 24 hours in Tempe and Phoenix police custody for spraying Penis Man, Schomer wrote. They raided my condo and vehicle and swarmed my entire complex in West Phoenix with 25 heavily armed SWAT officers and pointed a silenced assault rifle in my face. Anyone with any doubt who the bad guys are here, be certain it is the city of Tempe, city of Phoenix, and police forces valley-wide. There is no excuse for pointing an AR-15 in the face of a non-violent offender. Schomer added in further posts that he spent a night at Maricopa County's 4th Avenue Jail following more than 5 hours in Tempe police custody, during which time he was given nothing to eat. He wrote that he was told I would receive medical attention after requesting it, even though it was posted on the wall to ask if desired. I was having a panic attack because they put a fucking assault rifle in my face. That's illegal, both denying medical attention and excessive force. Schomer also wrote in his post-arrest screed, for the record, I hate the institution of the police, but I do not think every single cop is a bastard. To say they all are is, in my opinion, stooping to their level of profiling. Some of the detectives I met seem to be genuine Penis Man fans. The United Kingdom's Daily Mail, which apparently was the first to break the story of Schomer's arrest, said that Arizona State University police allegedly caught Schomer red-handed. The Daily Mail noted that other posts by Schomer, a former ASU student, included the notion that he was tagging with the name as a protest against corrupt local government. Penis man is neither man nor woman, you nor me, Schomer wrote in one post. We are all penis man. And there's an image of some penis graffiti. It says penis them. That's the end of the article there. That's all we have. He makes a lot of good points. I never imagined in my life I would be on the side of someone named Penis Man. But that is a bit overkill. 25 heavily armed SWAT officers for a graffiti tagger? It's ridiculous. That is a waste of money and resources. It's seriously way too much. You gotta take it down a notch. Not a police state. Or is it? I don't know. You tell me. From PennLive.com, headline reads, "Your civil rights weren't violated when you were muted out of a video game. U.S. court tells angry player." It's common belief when people are muted or banned or kicked off a forum, they think their rights are being suppressed because they cannot express themselves, but it's not really the case. A federal court has pulled the plug on a Pennsylvania man's claim that his civil rights were violated when he was muted out of an online video game. The ruling by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit should deactivate the latest lawsuit filed by serial litigator Amro El-Ansari of Exton. This time around, El-Ansari claimed in his largely handwritten lawsuit that Jagex Incorporated, based in the United Kingdom, and several Chinese firms violated his rights to free speech and due process of law when he was muted out of an unnamed streaming game in March 2019. El-Ansari claimed he had 2,000 hours invested, that's in quotes, invested, his word, not mine, not the article's, in the game when he was booted out. Jagex denied his appeal of the muting without telling him why. He contended, as far as damages, he sought whatever the jury sees fit, plus demuting so he could get back into the online action. U.S. Eastern District Judge Mark A. Kearney allowed Ansari to pursue the case as a pauper, then promptly dismissed the suit on grounds that El-Ansari hadn't made any real constitutional claims. That's when El-Ansari appealed to the circuit court. Like Kearney, the circuit judges didn't buy El-Ansari's claim that he had been subjected to illegal, unequal treatment compared to all other players who are not muted. Nothing that happened to El-Ansari in the Jagex dispute equated to a violation of federal anti-discrimination laws, the circuit court found. This is the second time in 2 months that the circuit judges have deep-sixed a lawsuit filed by El-Ansari. In November, they refused to reinstate a case he lodged claiming he was scammed by the Tinder dating app. In 2016, the state superior court denied an appeal El-Ansari filed after he was arrested by Bloomsburg University police for lighting up a marijuana joint in front of several campus cops. El-Ansari, who was convicted of possessing a small amount of marijuana and fined $100, claimed he was challenging the constitutionality of Pennsylvania's drug laws. And look how that worked out for you. 4 years later, state officials are leaning toward legalizing such recreational use of marijuana. Court records show El-Ansari has filed 10 lawsuits in U.S. Eastern District Court in the last year and a half. He lodged 4 of them, including the Jagex suit, in July 2019 alone. Oh, what a waste of time. He's really wasting everybody's time. He should have been muted way earlier. Sue me. And we have another article from the Phoenix area, from the apnews.com. Man cited for using fake skeleton to drive in HOV lane. You can't do that. You can't drive in the carpool lane, the high occupancy vehicle lane, with a dummy or a mannequin, or in this case a skeleton. That's a no-no. You get a ticket for that. Article goes on to read, a 62-year-old man was cited in Arizona this week after trying to disguise a fake skeleton as a passenger just to use the HOV lane. And there's an image of said skeleton. He's got a kind of a sandy camouflage bucket hat, and he's really just dressed in rags. It looks like a Halloween decoration, and it doesn't seem to have legs. It's just the upper body. Anyway, the Arizona Department of Public Safety says a trooper pulled over the man on Thursday after noticing he had placed a fake skeleton in the passenger's front seat. The skeleton was sitting upright, wearing a hat and tied to the front seat. Department spokesman Raul Garcia said troopers cite about 7,000 HOV lane violators every year. Last April, a man was pulled over after driving in the HOV lane with a mannequin wearing a sweatshirt, baseball cap, and sunglasses. Just a no-no. Need a real human. A real live. I don't know if it has to be alive. I don't think you should be driving with a dead body in your car. It's probably frowned upon. But as long as you have a living body as your passenger, you're good to go. I don't need to explain this to you. From WSPA.com, Channel 7 News, CBS, Carolina's Family. Canine bites cow. South Carolina deputy tases canine. Cow kicks deputy. A deputy in Georgetown County was forced to use a taser on his own canine on Wednesday afternoon. According to the Georgetown County Sheriff's Office, a deputy responded to the scene of a reported burglary around 4 p.m. A cow near the scene distracted the dog, which led to the dog biting the cow. To de-escalate the situation, the deputy tased the dog. The cow was spooked and struck the deputy and the property owner, resulting in minor injuries, according to GCSO. The sheriff's office said that the burglary call proved to be unfounded. What a story. There was a farmer who had a cow that kicked the cop, who tased the dog, who bit the cow. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Bum-bum-bum-bum. All right, move on. How about some coronavirus news? That's the big rage nowadays. Virus spreading across the globe at an insane rate. I don't know if it's that bad, but here we have a story on the coronavirus from newzealandherald.co.nz. Food market at center of deadly coronavirus outbreak admits selling live koalas, snakes, rats, and wolves. Now, I'll have to admit that this story may not be accurate. I mean, really, no information coming out of China about the virus is entirely accurate. And the virus might not have actually started at this market. I really wanted to cover the story based on what they do cover at this market. The Chinese food market at the center of the deadly SARS-like virus outbreak has claimed they sold live koalas, snakes, rats, and wolf pups to locals to eat. The Hunan seafood market in Wuhan in China is under investigation, with officials believing the coronavirus originated from a wild animal that was sold at the venue. So far, the highly contagious virus has killed 17 people and infected hundreds around Asia. And by now, we know those numbers are completely inaccurate. According to the South China Morning Post, the market's advertising board had live foxes, crocodiles, wolf puppies, salamanders, snakes, rats, peacocks, porcupines, and koalas. Koalas are nasty. They're gross. They're just chlamydia-ridden tree rats. Why you would want to eat one of those, I do not know. The sale of live animals has shocked a number of locals, with some taking to Chinese social media site Weibo to show their surprise. Just took a closer look at the viral wild animal menu. They even eat koalas, one wrote. Another quote says, "There's nothing Chinese people won't eat." And there's an image of a I don't know what that is, a gopher or a beaver or what. And then under that is some kind of deer, just crates, cages, stacked on cages. According to the list, there are 112 live animals and animal products available at the market. Coronavirus represents a wide variety of viruses present in animals that can, in certain circumstances, jump to humans. The Chinese government has quarantined the city where the deadly coronavirus originated and plans to shut down the airport and public transport, except that it's too late, according to reports on the country's social media networks. More than 500 people have been infected, but there are fears that figure could be as high as 10,000. Well, guess what? With warnings, the new strain is as deadly as Spanish flu, which killed 50 million people. Professor Neil Ferguson, an expert in mathematical biology at Imperial College London, said the death rate was roughly the same as for the Spanish flu epidemic, at around 1 in 50. Several countries increased border health checks to guard against the disease's spread, including Australia, the US, the UK, and Russia. Stay healthy, people. Don't eat koalas. Or wolf pups. That's a terrible one. Eating wolf pups. What's wrong with you? And continuing with stories of questionable food from usatoday.com, people are really selling iguana meat dubbed chicken of the trees on Facebook. You can buy almost anything on Facebook Marketplace these days. People list their cars, plants, homes, and more in the hopes of making some extra cash. And now you buy a peculiar protein dubbed chicken of the trees. Iguana meat, or garobo, as the Miami Herald notes, has cropped up on Facebook's digital flea market following an extremely cold night in Florida. Apparently, the reptiles fall from the trees when temperatures get frigid enough, making them easy for people to catch, skin, and sell as a chicken alternative. And there's a image of about 9 or 10 skinned, headless iguanas ready for sale. Not particularly appetizing looking. Not a lot of meat, it seems. This isn't something we usually forecast, but don't be surprised if you see iguanas falling from the trees. The National Weather Center tweeted on Tuesday when temperatures dropped into the 30s overnight. They may fall from the trees, but they are not dead. The green reptiles are cold-blooded, so they have no internal control over their body temperature. They get sluggish when the temperature drops to near freezing, and eventually they become immobile, release their grip on branches, and fall from the trees. So, if you have just a craving for iguana meat, check your local Facebook page. That's where you can pick some up. From belovedfoxnews.com, mutant goat born with human-like face will be worshipped as an avatar of God in India. And right up top there is a image, a photo of the little fella. It is something to behold. It looks like some kind of ape, some kind of googly-eyed ape. The eyes are very close together instead of the sides of the head like a goat usually has. Very bizarre looking. Check it out. You can find the link through our website at www.otheritemsofinterest.com. If you'd like to check the show notes and read any of the articles or check out any of the pictures, you can do so there. A mutated goat with a face that looks eerily like a human has been born in India, shocking onlookers. Images and video of the mutated mammal have gone viral, the Sun reports. Initially, the deformed mammal perplexed villagers in Namodia, India, but it is now believed it will be worshipped as an avatar of God. It's likely that the goat suffers from a congenital defect known as cyclopia. According to the National Institute of Health, cyclopia, which can occur in humans as well as animals, is a very rare syndrome of severe facial dysmorphism, meaning you got a funky face. Unusual animal sights always garner plenty of attention. I guess that article is done. We're going to go into other instances of fucked up animals. Unusual animal sights always garner plenty of attention. A New Hampshire lobster man caught a rare blue lobster in June 2017. Later that month, a woman in Virginia pulled a blue crab with 2 oysters growing on its shell from the waters of Chesapeake Bay. In September 2017, another mutant goat in India went viral after images cropped up showing its human-like features. Images of a stillborn baby goat with a demonic face surfaced 2 months earlier. Images of an octopig, also dubbed the spider pig, went viral in 2016 after a piglet with 8 legs was born in the village of El Galpon in Argentina's northwestern province of Salta. And that's it. Not much else on the mutated goat face being worshipped like a god. And if you do check out the webpage through www.otheritemsofinterest.com, be forewarned, it is a Fox News website. And do yourself a favor, stay out of the comments. I waded right into the comments. When I first found the article, I did look at the comments, and there were quite a few racist comments, I do have to say. Not shocked. Disgusted, yeah, a little bit. But here's the top comment right now. On a mutated goat page. Someday Jesus will return. Be prepared. The devil wanders about seeking whom he may devour. Be sober. Be vigilant. Be not deceived. Alrighty then. Let's move on. If you're looking to ward off bad spirits, bad juju, bad omens, a witch bottle may be what's right for you. From UPI.com, Civil War era witch bottle found under Virginia highway median. Researchers said a glass bottle found during an archaeological dig on a Virginia highway median is believed to be a Civil War era witch bottle designed to ward off evil spirits. The William and Mary Center for Archaeological Research said the bottle was discovered during a 2016 archaeological dig for Civil War artifacts prior to a widening project for Interstate 64 in York County. Joe Jones, director of the William and Mary Center for Archaeological Research, said the glass bottle was initially thought to be nothing more than a place to store loose nails. The Union troops were likely tasked with holding and repairing the fortification whenever they had reason to expect Confederate assault, Jones said. They were building up a fortification, so we just assumed they needed a place to keep their nails and a used bottle. He said further research was carried out on the finds from the dig, and experts now believe the object was a witch bottle used by Union soldiers to ward off evil spirits during the war. The university said people who feared they were under the influence of dark magic would bury a nail-filled bottle under their hearth with the intention of the heat from the hearth energizing the nails to break a magic spell. Groovy. The jug is now believed to be one of less than a dozen witch bottles discovered in the United States. Archaeologists in Britain have documented nearly 200 witch bottle discoveries. It's a good example of how a singular artifact can speak volumes, Jones said. It's really a time capsule representing the experience of Civil War troops, a window directly back into what these guys were going through, occupying this fortification at this time period. So, I've never heard of such a thing, a witch bottle. That's new to me. Some new occult stuff. Fun. And here we are with our last story of the day, wrapping things up from BellinghamHerald.com. Bigfoot spotted in Washington. again, state officials say, and this time there's video. And there is a video from Washington State Department of Transportation on the webpage. You can find that through our show notes at www.otheritemsofinterest.com. Bigfoot must be traveling through Washington State this week, and the Washington State Department of Transportation has had a front row seat. Earlier this week, the department apparently captured photos of the creature on its Sherman Pass on State Route 20 webcam. Now officials are saying they have a video of the legend in a completely different location. The Transportation Department's Twitter account for Snoqualmie Pass traffic shared a video of what appears to be Bigfoot walking along the wildlife overcrossing on Interstate 90. "I think Bigfoot is making the rounds across our mountain passes," the account tweeted. The officials are even advising drivers to keep watch for Bigfoot. Even once the sun comes up, keep the headlights on for visibility. Watch for Bigfoot along with areas of standing water, and get excited because the weekend is here, the Twitter account for East of the Cascade Mountains tweeted. Apparently, this isn't the first time Bigfoot has been spotted in this area. Ryan Overton, a spokesperson for the eastern region of the state, said there have been strange sightings for years at the Sherman Pass webcam location. In fact, roughly 15 years, different things have popped up in front of the camera, he said in an email statement to McClatchy News. Overton said everything from aliens to Christmas trees have popped up in front of that camera, but never anything quite like the Bigfoot they captured in the photos. "Now it's Sasquatch," Overton said. "I had seen something there before, but this was the most clear picture I have been able to capture from the webcam." And there's plenty of pictures and the video on the website. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Sasquatch. Maybe it's a person in a suit. I don't know. Leave that up for you to decide, dear listener. It's all on you. You figure it out. With that, we will be saying goodbye. We are at the end of our show for the week, and it's time to go. Get on with our lives, do productive things, and try to live the best we can. If you'd like to visit us online, you may have heard the website earlier in the program. It is www.otheritemsofinterest.com, where you can check the show notes for all the articles we have covered on the show. You can email us at otheritemsofinterestpod@gmail.com. You can visit us on Instagram at otheritemspod and on Twitter at otheritems. So, maybe we've learned something. Probably not. Whatever the case is, let's move on until next week. Let's just say cue the music and be done with it, right? Right. Cue the music. Welcome to the end of the show. This has been Other Items of Interest. I've been Jack Zablocki. We are now at the end of the show where we say goodbye. So goodbye, everybody. Enjoy your life. Have a good time. We'll see you again next week, hopefully. Until then, bye-bye, everybody.